Today's Friday, July 3rd, 2020. Got a real big topic coming up for me in my heart. Had a really beautiful conversation late last night with my girlfriend, and the subject came up of her desire to have a child with me. And I guess it's not the first time she's spoken to it, and but maybe it's the first time I sat with it a little bit more present and received it, and all the big things that confronted me with. All of the healing that I still have to do inside of me around that topic. To be humbled and honored by the love of a woman, and for her to express that desire to want to. Super profound. It isn't missed on me, and it's been my decision, most of my life to choose not to have children, and it's kind of my surface answer. But somewhere in some innocent, faraway part of me could respond to that sincere request from her, that beautiful, innocent, pure desire to birth a child. And there's some core of my soul that could feel the beauty of that. And I guess it opened up the gulf in between that part of me that could feel the beauty of that, and then a big gap of wounds and healing, and in the place where I am now, where I say no thank you. And why would I say no or turn that down? And I guess, to just be honest, I didn't say no, but wow, I was confronted with the heaviness of just where I'm at with that, and maybe how much work there is for me to get present with that idea, get present with that request. And what it brings up is my choice when I was 20 years old to get a vasectomy, which I, still currently have had my whole adult life, my whole sexually active adult life. And what decisions in my young teenage life that led up to that decision to get the vasectomy. All of the heartbreak in my teenage years, all the depression, the flirting with suicide that came through a few times in my young teenage days. My parents split when I was 3 years old, and they lived very different lives, and I got to see both of them even while I was a teenager, and they would have been hitting their young 40s. And I saw them both struggling with life, struggling, looking really broken in their own lives, struggling with depression, struggling with so many things, and in a lot of ways unable to show up for themselves, a lot of ways unable to show up for me. And that left a heavy imprint on me to not know what to do, to both be feeling the excitement of my own sexual energy growing in me and wanting to explore my sexuality, my sexual energy, and also being terrified of having a child before I was ready, terrified of bringing another human being into this life and passing on the pain that I was feeling to them before I had something better to offer. And I just thought that, hey, if my parents were in their 40s and they still don't have themselves figured out, or they have themselves in somewhat of a balance or healed place or healthy space, what chance do I have to heal the hurt I have inside me and pass it on any earlier than that? And I've kind of spent my life devoted to my own healing, to my own seeking and understanding, and observing the paths my parents took and choosing my own path, and learning new ways to show up for myself and take care of myself, and felt the need to do that first before I think about bringing a child into the world. And in a way, I'm still on that path, and haven't thought about changing the plan to bring a child in, but it was really big and profound to sit with last night, and what it would mean for me to address that healing, address that wound within myself, and what drove me to get the vasectomy in the first place, and how I feel about that now. And there's parts of me that would like to reverse my vasectomy just to heal that wound that I no longer feel quite so overwhelmed by at this point in my life, but still haven't made a clear decision on whether I want to bring children in. And then would I reverse my vasectomy and still choose not to have children? Would I do it just for my own healing? Just to acknowledge that I don't wish to have that surgery or cut my body out of that story of pain or fear, and see if I could make some effort to do love and heal my own body to help to heal that. And then is the bigger healing waiting for me if I were to choose to make an effort to become a father, to both reverse the vasectomy and see what was possible. And to brave into this, what would be for me the scariest thing I could do, to bring a child into this world, this crazy world, and be responsible and grounded enough to show up for it and take good care of it. And is that even the dream that I want for myself in this life? And wow, maybe that dream is always changing. And this conversation with my girlfriend brought all this up for me last night and brought it up for me today. And to just feel that there's two parts within me that feel in very different ways. You know, those parts that can both tune into the beauty of birthing a child, and there's another part of me that says, hey, that wasn't my idea. You know, I didn't wake up yesterday and say I wanted to change my whole plans or ideas on that, and yet life seems to be bringing it up for review. Time for me to look at that decision I made a long time ago and see whether it's still current and real for me, and whether there's more something for me to look at around that. And what an interesting and wild time to think about bringing a child into this world. And yet I know too that you know, what beautiful things are being cultivated in the human beings who are alive right now. And any child being born is going to be a part of this momentous time in human history. And just feeling the love story of Becky and I growing and where that's going. Feeling the beautiful intimacy that comes in truth speaking. When we speak to the things that make us feel most vulnerable or scared. How just being honest about that with my partner always seems to lead to more accessible levels of intimacy and lovemaking and beautiful, you know, beautiful relaxed connection that moves into the physical, where like the shields are down and feeling how much more my body was able to soften and connect. And yeah, feel Becky's body next to mine as we, you know, slept together last night. And I guess I just wanted to speak to these issues, to the healing that's very real and present for me around my vasectomy, around whether I'm gonna choose to be a father in this life, and how hasn't really been a dream for me, and yet I guess I'm feeling the terror of maybe all the healing that may wait or lay in store for me if I choose to do that. Yeah, I guess that's the most real thing that's come up for me in this last day, and it's probably all for me to share about it right now. And just wanted to speak to it and open up that topic a little bit for more conversation. And I'll do my best to access it again and connect back in with that story when the time is right. Thank you.